G'day, fellas. And welcome to Outback Octagon number 4. Today, it is happening. Game number 1 of the greatest FFA tournament to ever grace Age of Empires for this year. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got a very special Game 1 for you today. We've decided to put all of the players on one side of the map and tell them good luck. Not really, they've actually decided to do this all themselves. Have a look at this. Every single player is over on this side of the map, with the exception of maybe Voldemar, who's kinda getting there. Anyway, welcome. This is going to be a long series. I don't know if series is the right term. The way this works is quite simple. Outback Octagon every week is going to be having 8 games. These players will play 2 sets of games this week, and then we'll mix them up next week and shuffle them around, and they'll fight against different players. So this game, as well as the next game, you'll see these same players in here. So let's get into it. Let's introduce our players because they have put down their town centers. At least I think we've got everybody putting down their town centers. My suspicion is this may be a quick game. Ladies and gentlemen, spawning at the 10 o'clock position in the color green, playing as Joan of Arc. We've got Numidan to his south in the color cyan, playing as the Malians. We've got Miomaker to his very slight east in the color pink, playing as the Delhi Sultanate. We've got Louis MT. And just to his south, in the color purple, playing as the Abbasids, nestled in the valley, it's Daimyo. Over towards his east, in the color red, playing as the Knights Templar, the very first time we are seeing this civilization in Outback Octagon. It's Myriad. And to his south, nice and safe. Oh gosh, he's got a good spot right here, doesn't he? This is not a bad little position. Spawning at the south of the map, in the color blue, playing as the Byzantines. It's Mates. In orange, playing as the Ayyubids, a fan favorite. Many suspect he will go on to win this game. It's Don Ardi. And finally, in the color yellow, playing as the French. Very isolated from the rest of the pack. It's Voldemar. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Outback Octagon 4. We are here. We are officially back. The map today is rigged, chaos, random, and, well, it's a little bit chaos. It's a little bit rigged. It just kind of looks like mega random. There's typically a few more berries. That's normally the way that I see it going down. But anyway, how do we see this game going down? Who is the favorite? Who comes into this event as the champion? These are the questions that we will answer in this video. So, our champion at the moment is Beastie. Beastie won the last Outback Octagon. He's not in this game today, so don't worry, you won't see him competing in this video, but he will be coming up shortly. We've also got Puppy Paw, who's won 2 previous Outback Octagons, Outback Octagon 1 and 2. So the question on everybody's mind is, who is going to be winning this Outback Octagon? Well, it all starts with Game 1. If we had to put our money on a winner here today, I feel like you can't really go past Voldemar. A great little spot. He's got a good civilization as well, the French, access to early knights. He will be in prime position this game. I think another potential favorite is Mates on the south here. The fact that he's isolated away from everybody else. He's just comfortably hiding down in this corner of the map. So we'll keep an eye on them. Who's going to be the first one out, though? That is another question. Louis? Potentially? Louis in a bit of a tough spot here. He's got a lot of neighbors. And I think one of the other things to note is that while we might think this could be a quick game, this could also be a long game, because one of the interesting things to note is that everybody is relatively spaced apart fairly. And that doesn't normally happen. Normally you've got very close proximity spawns that can occur. So these two as an example. We've got Miomaker. We've got Louis MT. They're both very close to each other, and because of that, there's a good chance one of them is going to die. In fact, both of them are probably going to die quite early in this game. However, players like Daimyo, who's a little bit further away, and you can see that spacing is quite decent here as well to Myriad, there's a good chance that they actually survive through the hardest part. So, that is it. That is how it starts off. How are we looking on the relic count? At the moment, we've got the 1 relic, the 2 relics, the 3 and the 4th relic. Is that it? No, we've got a 5th relic over here as well. Definitely doesn't look like there is a lot of relics on this map. We do have these new points of interest, though. I say new like they've been only just added. But of course, they've been around for a while now. We've got our first age up coming through, the Principality of Antioch, for that little bit of extra melee damage now with Myriad, our Knights Templar civilization. Now, I will also mention the elephant in the room, and that is that there is none of the new civilizations here. So we'll do our best to make sure that they squeeze their way in on the next game. But hey, at least we've got one new civilization to Outback Octagon. We got age ups coming through. We got the Don over on the east side going up with that eco wing over on the west side for Demu as well. He's looking to go with that eco wing as well. So we got players heading up to the second age now. Let's check in with Mio Maker and see how he's doing. Now looking to reach that feudal age. We'll check in with Mattis on the south side. Grand Winery has come up. Beautiful little spot for this Grand Winery as well. Let's actually ride on board with him and see. He's getting some decent coverage here, so I think you can probably just get away with the single mill here and just make sure that you're always dropping it back underneath. But so far, so good for these players. No one really starting out aggressive. We don't see anyone fighting over resources early on, which is normally a good sign, right? Often you'll think back to games. I remember back a game, a certain GUA, let's just put it this way, had a bit of a tough time with his gold. Everybody's got their own gold in this game, so it means that at the very least we're going to have a pretty fair fight amongst each other. But it is undoubtedly going to devolve very quickly. Age ups continue coming through. Have we got any second TCs just yet? We'll have a look out for that. Keep in mind we've got the eco wings for these Ayyubids and Abbasid players. In fact, we've got both of them coming through today. Kind of curious that we get both of the Abbasids, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. Sometimes you get them and sometimes you get got. And Numidan is going to be the guy who gets a whole bunch of deer. Have a look at this. He's got the double deer stack in the north of the map. Numidan looking strong here. Numidan's also got quite a good spawn as well. I will just say right now, the fact that he is towards the north here, like obviously he's got a neighbor, but his neighbor has a much closer neighbor to worry about. So I would also be tempted to say, you know what? Like this could very much be a game controlled by our French players here, our French variant civilizations. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that because so many civilizations are French variants now. But you get the you get the idea, right? Like we've got the French, we've got Joan of Arc. We got KT. We got all the French variants. We're putting them all in there together. Second town center now going to be coming up as well for Demu. We'll be keeping an eye on him throughout this game. Have we got any cows? We've got no cows coming out just yet, but have a look at this. A double stable opening for Mio Maker. So maybe Mio Maker not really playing in line with that typical meta that we see. Oh, no, he's going into professional scouts by the look of it. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. So the most common meta that we see, the most common strategy that we see players go for when it comes to FFA is a 2-town center fast castle. That is it. So often you'll see them put down the second TC, which enables them to keep up on the economy and then just go for that fast castle, typically for knights. There's some exceptions to that. We do often see 3 TCs coming out from Ayyubid, from Abbasid, and it looks like for our Abbasid player here today, Demu, he is going to opt for that. But our first clash begins with Mio Maker trying to push Demu away from this double stack of deer. We've got plenty of deer on this map, and it looks like Mio Maker is going to do his best to be aggressive and force his opponent back. 3 warrior scouts now coming down towards this position. There's a 4th one that's arrived. He's going to transition some villagers here. I don't like the chances for Demu. He's going to try his best now because these scouts are reaching a critical mass. You can see he's now going to start working down these villagers here. It's critical that he actually gets this food online, and because of that, he's just committing 100% to the bit here. Wants to get this town center up. It will happen. He loses a lot of villagers for it, but at the end of the day, he secures a huge amount of food, and that is the key right here. Now that he's got that food, he's okay to just sit back and to chill. But one of the problems that Mio Maker's got is he's made an enemy. First castle age now going to be coming through. It's Louis MT. He picks up the first relic as well. Louis MT looking strong here on the Delhi Sultanate. How does he look to play this one out? Does he go for a potential fast Imperial? It could be on the cards. Now keep in mind, we do have relics on this map. It's just that there's not very many of them, and they're very far away. The first one has been picked up, and oh boy, what have we got here? Have we got Have we got some potential for attacks coming out? Voldemar. Excuse me, Voldemar. I got a little bit confused right there. We got ourselves Dervish from Don beginning to move out. Wait, Don's castle as well. Don going for the little quick castle agent. Have a look at this. All the stables in the back. Don absolutely treating this like a 1v1. I mean, this is typically what you see from the Ayyubids. They'll start off with one TC and then they'll move into multiple. So there's no real surprises there. But now down towards the south side, the first of the Templar brothers going to be coming out here as well for Myriad. Myriad looking to get aggressive, but the wall manages to come online. Villager stays alive. I think that wall looks pretty decent there. And we've got our beginnings of the first storyline. And that is that Matthias has found himself a very comfortable corner. We could call him potentially, do we dare, Corner Boy. He is looking so comfy right now. And he's just thinking to himself, Myriad, why are you attacking me? I've got walls up, I've got longbows, I've got villagers to repair my walls. Get out of here. We got relics coming through. Relic somehow manages to get sniped. Louis MT had located the relic. Well, he brought it over to Nimadan. Nimadan said, thank you very much. That'll be my relic. You won't be taking that anymore. Now, we do continue to see a three-way fight for the relic up in the north of the map. Now, keep in mind, if he does Wallalol, he reveals the location. More players will potentially come for it. And Donardi is on the loose over here. So there's a good chance if he tries anything sneaky. Now, to be fair, these are only scouts. I don't think anything is going to be coming of this. But keep in mind, it's not the only unit around towards that south side. Archer's now going to be coming online as well for Myriad. Checking back up towards that north side. This is our second real relic of the game. I mean, third relic, I guess. Don now going to pick it up. You can see immediately goes for the Wallalol attempt as well. He's not going to be able to find anything, I suspect. Indeed, he's not. But he's going to try his best to run away with the relic. This one here, we'll keep an eye out for it. Scout going to get caught. Templar brothers able to take them out. And we've got ourselves the beginnings of the defenses. Starting. Scouts coming through. Warrior scouts coming through. Joan of Arc on the run. Do not fear, ladies and gentlemen. That is not the king. I saw many a post on Reddit that said, FFA is bugged. I killed the king. I didn't get my points. They didn't die. And when I went in and reviewed the replay, it was literally every single person just killing Joan of Arc. People not going, hold on a minute. Joan of Arc does not equal the king. The king, he's safely inside the town center. How are these relics doing? I want to check in on these relics. You can see Don Artie manages to find another one now. I think, is that going to be 3 for him? I think it could be 3. He's bringing it back. We've got another one over on this side, but now KT on the south side. Myriad looking for blood early on. Another wall going to be coming up here. Longbows have been upgraded to veteran. They've got their +1. He's looking comfy. He's looking very happy in his corner. Do not come, do not knock, do not bother him. Has he got the second TC? No second TC. So I think this is probably a wise thing from him, considering the fact he is under attack. But hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We got Knights inside the Knights Templar base. Checking in with Mayor Maker over on that west side. I want to keep an eye on him just because we did see all those warrior... Oh my god, we saw all those warrior scouts. He's absolutely committing to the bit here. 100% warrior scout. And I like this a lot. One of the things that people fail to consider is that warrior or scouts have the exact same amount of torch damage as every other unit has got. And therefore, because they're cheaper, they're a lot more effective when it comes to torching things down. They're also quick, they're cavalry units. And of course, they're not the healthiest, but for the price that you're paying for them, a very strong unit. Second potential keep now going to be coming up. Keep in mind, there was no compound of the defender for Louis MT, so everything you're seeing right now, these are full price keeps. Towards the middle of the map though. KT. Wait. How many sacred sites have we got? Wait, how many sacred sites have we got here? Is it just me or is there only one? I think there may just be a single sacred site. I think there may be a single sacred site. Can anybody confirm? I'm looking over to Twitch chat at the moment. By the way, you'll see in the top right-hand corner, this over here, this is Demu's chat. Okay, so we're hoping that Demu doesn't get taken out in this game. If there's any chat in the game, you will be able to see it up there. I think there's just one sacred site. Chat now confirming. This is a single sacred site game, which immediately pushes the stakes up when it comes to Outback Octagon. Meanwhile, on the east side, Don Artie going for an early kill here over on Voldemar. I don't know whether he's going to have the numbers, especially when you got this many knights now coming through. Second TC online for Voldemar. He wants to try and keep himself alive a little bit longer here so that economy can start to boom and start to bloom. Camels now forcing back these knights. Keep in mind, Voldemar still age 2, Don Artie age 3. So he is very comfy now, taking this fight. He's got the higher level units. He's got the camel advantage here as well. But now those warrior scouts make their way towards the north side. You can see just how scared people need to be. Numidan running all the way back, and Myriad here very much committing to taking out his neighbor to the south. Don Ardi, he's doing the same thing at the north. Now, we have got a number of different rule changes for this year. The primary thing that you need to know is that there's now less points awarded for a win. And this, I suspect, is probably going to make people a little bit more aggressive. So last year we gave 8 points for a win. This year it's only 6 points for a win. And that's because one of our admins, Cascade, did some modeling, and he was like, well, hold on a minute. This makes a bit more sense. It means that you can have, hopefully, a little bit of a tighter grouping. And it's not based on so much on just the winners of the games fighting it out in the finals. Instead, we get a lot of the winners going through, but it opens the pack up and it allows those people to actually come through. So that's the first thing that we're going to be changing. The second thing that we're changing as well is the points that you carry over into the semi-finals. So those top 16 players, they will only be carrying across 50% of their points. We'll be rounding down the points as well. They will not be carrying across 100% of their points. And that means that it's still important that you do well in the first stage. We got King on the ground. We got King on the ground. Do not miss the very first King kill of Outback Octagon number 4. He's going to make a run for it. Donati not paying attention. Now he picks it up and says, hold on a minute, that's a King out of water right there. King gets inside the town center, able to stay alive for the moment. And now over towards that top side of the map. We continue to see the action unfold as Mio Maker gets chased away with his army of scouts. He's got a huge amount of villagers back here on wood, or rather on food as well. But I think this could be it. Our first victim of Outback Octagon 4 is Voldemar. He goes down, Don Ardi takes him, and with that, he takes first blood. Now, keep in mind, that was a Castle Age kill, and a Castle Age kill is not going to award you the same amount of points as a Feudal Age kill, and because of that, Don Ardi, he's getting a little bit less points than what he could be getting, but at the same time, he's doing very well for himself. So Don Ardi off to an early lead here in Outback Octagon 4. We'll keep an eye on him throughout the event to see how he does. Of course, he is a fan favorite, known for his flamboyant style, both in and off the field. We'll say that much. We do love it. We love ourselves a Don Ardi, don't we, boys? We do. we do love Don Ardi. No, he's great. He's really good. Anyway, we got KT slowly booming it up. I'm really keeping an eye on Myriad. I do like his positioning here, especially in relation to the Sacred Site. And undoubtedly, he has realized here that there is the potential for a Sacred Site victory. You know, he's sending out these pilgrims. He's bringing in that cashola. And because of that, he's aware, hold on a minute, this is a one Sacred Site game. He's the guy that's thinking about this. So on top of that, he's also got arguably the best defensive civ for a Sacred Site victory. So that is it. Anyway, for people wondering, First Blood is extra points. Yes, everybody, well, not everybody, but if you get First Blood, you will get extra points. That is on top of the points for the kill. And then if you kill them in the Feudal Age as well, you also, or the Dark Age for that matter, you will also get extra points. But have a look at this. We have potentially got a snipe on the way. I don't think Don Ardi's dying, dude. That is way too many camels here. And now we've got ourselves a little bit of a flex here. Myriad heading off in another direction. I can see people mentioning in-game chat probably needs to be resized. Apologies. It's always a little bit hard with the in-game chat when we do it this way because it depends on the player's resolution that we're watching. Dude, you can hear those scouts just calling out in every direction right now. I wish we could mute scout voice lines. That's one of my wishes for Age of Empires 5. Mute scout voice lines. All right. We've got ourselves action. Multiple parts of this map here. Cavalry absolutely everywhere. A little bit of infantry, but mainly cavalry, as now the camels make their way towards the base. And camels are particularly strong when it comes to Outback Octagon, just because people love to spam knights. We see cavalry so often, and because of that, having camels, it's just a good thing. Don Ardi going to try and stay alive here. He's got a lot of camels now making their way down towards the cataphracts here. Longbows as well, going to try and kite through it, but the camel riders looking pretty overwhelming in number here. Keep in mind, they've also got that amazing amount of ranged armor, so they'll be able to tank through that. Meanwhile, over towards the center, we've got Demu potentially looking to snipe out Myriad here. Checking back in over on that east side. And Donati holding on for dear life here. We've got action on every single front. King out of water, king out of water. We've almost missed it, ladies and gentlemen. We've got potential happening right here as a snipe by Numidan down towards Mio Maker. The king is out of water. Slowly, he goes down. He's gone. It's another one. Mio Maker, the second victim of Outback Octagon number 4. Meanwhile, towards the middle of the map, I think there might be a third one. We've got ourselves a bit of a bloodbath here at the 20-minute mark. King out of water. And he's given it up at the... Oh, no, he's only got one landmark. He didn't even give up. He didn't even give up. He just said, you know what? I've only got a single landmark. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, our main... Hold on a minute. Where's Don Army's... Where's Don Ardy's army? Let's go with that instead of where's Don Army. Bro. What is going on right now? Dude, Demo is looking incredibly powerful here. Have a look at this army that he's got here. He's got the triple TC. Don't forget that. You cannot be sleeping on that. Let's check in with that villager count. Sitting at 123 villagers right now. He is so far ahead of everybody else. The closest to him, Numidan, who did open with 2 TC, has the king safely within the confines of the Red Palace. He should be okay. He should be okay, at least for the moment. Don Ardy, though, we can't say the same for him. Donati's struggling to keep it up right now. And Abbasid looking very good in this number 1 Outback Octagon 4 return. We've had action on every single side of the field. I think everybody's gotten involved with... arguably, Matt is doing a lot better than everybody else. I'm still loving my corner boy down here. Have a look at this. He's got himself a lovely little spot. Very defensive. Now, Daimyo beginning to move across the map. We got King inside the keep. There's a lot of religious units. We got multiple Wallalols potentially going down. Cataphracts, could look to turn. Takes 2 of them. Is it going to be enough? We'll check in over a little bit sooner because we've got another Wallalol coming in. Demu falls back. It looks like he's flipped a couple of lances. Not a huge amount, though. Maybe 1 or 2. So both players flipping just a little bit of cav. Don Ardy trying to stay alive. He's now got the heals coming in from the Dervish on the backside. Lanch Connector getting involved for Matiz as well. He's really calling in from every single corner to assist him out now. And now, Louis MT remaining defiant against the army of his opponent. The only thing I worry about here is that there is a player looming like sharks in the water right now. Numidan sits patiently waiting. Town center now burning. Longbow number still looking very healthy here. And the problem that you've got is that while, yes, you've managed to neuter the majority of this army, the next army is only seconds around the corner as the Lanch Connector number builds. Checking back in on Numidan. He's still lying in wait here. Louis MT was able to hold, and now looking to get on the offensive. You've got to be careful with these monks or these scholars. Very powerful. And Don Ardy now, making a bit of a move over towards the keep. Looking to try and stay alive. I think one of the best things Don could do right now is migrate. Is he Imperial? Oh, he's Imperial. He's got all of his landmarks over on... Well, of course, he's got all of his landmarks over here, Drongo. He's playing as the Ayyubids, mate. What do you... Well, of course. In my mind, Don was Delhi. Don's always Delhi. Maybe that's just because Don's always at the deli. He's always looking for meat. Sorry, Don. We got to do it to Don. You know, it's not a Don cast unless we hit him hard with it. Anyway, we got movement up towards this top side. Numidan potentially scouting out the fact that Don may be weak. Now, keep in mind, Numidan's already picked up a kill at this stage, so this could be what flips this game. 1 kill in his favor. Now, Demu's also got another kill. Don Ardy has picked up a kill as well. So there are 3 players with kills at the moment. More units make their way through. Keep in mind, the king is no longer inside this town center. That's the first of the landmarks. I like the fact that there's 1 villager in here, though, just to potentially distract from the fact that the real 1 garrison unit is over here. Back towards the top side. The knights continue moving. Stone walls now starting to come up for Louis MT. He's getting a little bit more comfortable with the positioning here. I like the fact that he's doing this as well. This makes a lot of sense. The reason is simple, right? He wants to make sure that his fight is to the south. He doesn't want to... He's not interested in a fight to the north. It's not in his interest at all, because if he does that, he's going to lose. Or he's just going to be in a worse spot. But now Don Ardy, once again, looking to push back on this south side. It's been non-stop coming through from Matiz. Checking in on the economy of Matiz. It's looking good. He's looking very healthy down here in this corner. Villager count for Matiz rising up to 80. Keep in mind, Daimyo at 157, which is exactly where he wants to be in this FFA. We could potentially see Daimyo walk away with a victory here today as the town center for the Don about to go down. That's one out of the 2 landmarks here. How's that French cav going? How's that Joan of Arc cav going? It's not going too bad. But what's curious is he hasn't really added to this number. Is he building behind the scenes? Oh, he's got 67. This is only like half of the cavalry that he's got. Yeah, he's got a whole build-up back home. But it looks like he's going to try and snipe out the corner boy for the moment. Matiz needs to return his units, and this is the trouble, right? When you don't die quickly, when you don't roll over quickly, all of your units are streaming into somebody's base. Oh my gosh. I think Numidan could just stomp right here. Look at the potential. He could go for the 1-2, the double tap. But if he does that, he potentially risks it all. Because he may grow too strong, but they'll have to put him down. The king now on the run. He's gone down. Matiz, the corner boy. He's out of the game. And there were 4. All positioned relatively fairly, with the exception of maybe Louis MT. We'll check in with him and see how he's doing over here in this central location. Poor Matiz. Poor Matiz. And it's just one of those things where it's like, this is sort of why 2 TC Fast Castle just became the meta. Because Matiz didn't open with the 2nd TC. And it was wise, right? He was under attack early on from his neighbor, Myriad. And because of that, he invested a lot of resources into units, but because of that, he has no economy, and now we see the double tap coming in. This is exactly what Numidan wants. It's going to give him a total of 350 population. On top of that, we've also got a fight between Daimyo and Louis, and these guys need to start teaming up. They need to start doing the math, because the math here right now is telling me that they're going to have a problem soon. And it's a Numidan problem. King on the move. King on the move. King on the move. We spot it. Wallalol attempt. He's going to try and not able to find it. Donardi finally goes down after 27 minutes. And now they got real problems. And you can see we've got movement away. Do Daimyo and Louis MT realize that they got to team up here? Because this is the most important part of this stage of the game. 3 people remain. And one of them is a clear favorite. Economically, 130 villages. He's healthy. Militarily, 75 knights, 5 royal cannons. Numidan could finish this game within the next 5 minutes if he really wanted to. The question's going to be about whether or not Daimyo and Louis MT are able to keep it together and work it out. They got to work it out between each other. I think Daimyo's going for a snipe on Louis MT. Louis MT thinking about doing the same thing. King under pressure. He's got outposts he can jump to. And now these camels return back to base. He's got so much healing coming through. You can see the glow, the aura right now that he is farming off this elephant. King, unfortunately, on the move. Things not going well for the king. Look at this elephant, dude. Single-handedly just standing strong. I think he's lost a little bit of scholars in this time, but the real concern here, as I mentioned, is this guy. We got all of our upgrades coming through. Almost all of them. All the big ones, all the relevant ones have come in. Biology, of course, has come through. And now with the town center going down, that leaves one landmark here for Daimyo. The House of Wisdom stands tall. He's looking to move into a few more upgrades, but it's not going to be enough to hold him, I suspect. Camel's now repelling, and this is the trouble that you've got. Look at the army size for Daimyo and Louis. Daimyo, he's on 21 camels. Louis, 7 elephants. Compare that to Numidan, who's just literally double tapped 2 players, lost barely a knight, and now makes his way towards the final destination. The king is in another castle, but I tell you what, he's in a castle close by. A castle that we know, and a castle that will soon be burnt to the ground. Numidan makes his way through, confirms the location of the kings, and says, well, this should be easy. This should be a piece of cake. He's going to go landmarks instead. Probably a wise choice here against these elephants. Bring the elephants to you instead of going in and fighting amongst those buildings with all the scholars healing up. Louis MT needs to call for help right now. These guys got to start working together, or Numidan is going to run over the top of both of them. He's going to try for a wallalol. Louis MT. He gets sat down. Good night, Louis. Pick up the relic. Go for a second one. I'll let you. But you just know he's just going to get completely decimated. We got ourselves a couple of villagers on the back line. trying to siege down or trying to torch down. There he goes for another one. Sit him down, and he gets sat down. 13 XP over for Jonavaki goes for another one. How many times can he do it? He's got a lot of scholars in the bank, but unfortunately, he doesn't have enough. Meanwhile, towards the south, we've got more camels building. Now, I will just say, at this stage of the game, if there's one player who can potentially overcome the forces of Numidan, it's Daimyo. And he's bought himself enough time. He's got a big economy. He's already got 1 king kill, so he's still kind of within reach. The biggest thing that he needs to do is just constantly fight right now with Numidan. He can't allow him to take advantage of all that extra population space he's got. But somehow, some way, Louis MT holds on. The king remains alive in the keep. And Daimyo, in the balance of power here, lies in wait. Just holding on, just seeing what's the go. Can he get a snipe off? That's an important question. Is he going to be able to make the snipe? Because remember, in this situation, you just want to make the snipe. You don't want to commit your forces. If you commit your forces, then you've got real trouble. Another Walla attempt. Knights move out. Cannon's going to look to focus down the scholar. You can see he almost doesn't get one shot there. It's only the 3 cannons. And now the scholars go again. he can dance all day. He can dance all day. Oh, he got it. He converted only a knight. It's only a single royal knight. Little bit of movement over on this east side. We've got villagers gathering gold. Relics still over here. We've got plenty of relics, actually, but I think at this stage of the game, doesn't really matter. Daimyo now going to go for the snipe. The king inside the keep. He's got a double that he can try for here. I don't know whether he's got space to do it. He's going to have to pop to the top side here and try and escape out the back. He's hoping that Numidan is going to kill the forces of Daimyo and vice versa. We've got lots of garrison units here as well. Villagers inside the houses. And now the camels able to clean up the rest of these forces pushing back. Numidan, he's just spamming camels. He's just 100% all in on camels here. We don't see any other siege. We don't see any bombards, any rams, no nothing. And now this keep with 6,500 health slowly gets sieged down. But you can see just how long it takes here. Only the 21 torch damage. We got ourselves just a little bit of fire armor here. 16 versus fire, by the way. The power of the House of Learning, huh? That's a lot. That's a lot of fire armor. Like each one of these camels is only doing 5 siege damage or 5 torch damage. It's nowhere near as effective as you think it is, because you don't realize that when you're in the heat of the moment. In the heat of the moment, you see a whole bunch of units attacking down a keep, and you're wondering why the hell it's not dying. But now the camel number's looking particularly good here for Daimyo on the south. Keep in mind, he's got himself a huge amount of villagers back on. So he is just absolutely printing units now into this fight. Numidan not able to keep up, but with 160 villagers, he's looking okay. He takes the sacred site in the middle. Numidan, this could be a mistake. The last thing you want to do is be the catalyst for your opponent's alliance. You are in a very good position here. You do not need to tempt them with a sacred site. And now Daimyo in the south here. I mean, realistically, I think Daimyo's probably in a position, if he picks up the kill here, he could just go on to win this game. Daimyo's been defending Louis, but at the same time, he's really struggling to get this down. Look at the amount of damage that's going through on this keep. It's going to be a long night, boys. It's going to be a long night. The cannons. Oh, he could go for a snipe. Numidan could absolutely go for a snipe right here. If the cannons roll in, he hits the king, and then all of the crossbow, I think he's going to go for it. Cannons move forward. Crossbows. Boom. That's it. He's done it. Numidan takes out Louis MT. He's up to 400 population. So the best way for Daimyo to play at this stage of the game, just go all in. 100%. Do not stop. Constantly attacking. Never taking a break. That's the only way he can play this. He is down a huge amount of population. 400 versus 250. It is a massive difference between these two. And because of that, he cannot allow his opponent to build up. We see the arbitrary number really starting to build here as well. Up to 60 arms. A huge amount. Camels make their way to the middle. He wants to try and neutralize the sacred site. He's going to have a bit of a tough time. The Red Palace, obviously providing that arbalist emplacement. Camel number still building. Daimyo sitting at 248. Military pop here. Or rather 248 population. Excuse me. More units making their way down. Camel number looking good. He's got the mix coming in as well. We've got the camel archers. They're only veterans at the moment. He's probably looking to upgrade them. Almost certainly. And Daimyo slowly sieging down this keep. Sacred Site will be neutralized here. It all comes down to this next fight. The fear I've got here is that he's waited too long to fight Numidan. This can be a slow and steady burn. You know, we've still got... How long have we got? Well, the Sacred Site's been neutralized now. But I feel like this almost could have been a double trap in the sense that your opponent, Daimyo, has just gone for this Sacred Site, when the reality is he could have just gone for the throat, and I think he would have been okay here. Keep goes down. Camel number has fallen. Villagers at 186. Military number, he's got double the military count, Numidan now, over Daimyo. The number just continues to climb as well. He doesn't have a lot of resources in the bank, and that's the key here. There's not a lot of resources in the bank. He's not going to have that ability to reinforce, but he does have a massive population advantage. Ville's now going to be coming forward here as well for Daimyo. Daimyo really looking to commit to this Sacred Site. He wants it. He wants it bad. He's almost got enough stone to drop down the keep, but another keep going to be coming online here for Numidan, and he can basically just play a game of come to me. Come to me. At this stage, definitely, he can look for it. Now more units rallying towards this position. You can see they're just coming out one by one. Does Daimyo look to delete Vills here? He could also go for a King Snipe. You know, now that I think about it, a King Snipe here might actually be quite smart. There's a lot of Arbitria here. But he's got to attempt to fight instead. Camels on the back teeing off. Plenty of camel riders on the front, holding the line for the moment. Arbitria doing a decent job cutting through it. The keep comes up as well. Sacred Site being held for the moment. And Daimyo forced away. Huge losses on his side. Reinforcements now starting to stream through. He's in a tough spot here. He's down a huge amount of population. 345 against 228. Now the raids are going to start. Daimyo with no walls. All Sacred Sites. Well, single Sacred Site. Look at the cannons as well. My lord. Numidan in prime position. I think this might be it. It is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Your winner for Outback Octagon number 4. Game number 1. It's Numidan. He takes the victory with an impressive set right here. Picked up a number of kills in the early stages of the game and just played it impeccably. Had a great spawn. He was on the edge of the map towards that top side. Started with the second TC. Just kept to himself. And he was really able to perform. In the end, a huge amount of units on that field. And unfortunately, Daimyo unable to find the victory there today, but he did incredibly well making it all the way to the final 2. Ladies and gentlemen, that is game number 1 for Outback Octagon number 4. I hope you've enjoyed it, and we'll be back with game number 2 very, very soon.